YouTube, Autumn Beckman here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video that I hope will be helpful, and it is my top 5 biggest regrets regarding luxury purchases. So let's dive right into this. Number 1, and these aren't really in a particular order, they're just 5 things I thought of. So first is buying cheaper but lower quality bags. So I did this with my first bag, and I don't think I've done it since because I learned my lesson the first time. But this was my dream bag, this Louis Vuitton Trevi GM, and I wanted it so bad, but it was so expensive. I'd never spent that kind of money on a handbag before. It's ridiculous. I still think it's ridiculous, but I do it anyway. And this I found couple $100 cheaper than what it was going for generally on the Preloved market. This bag was discontinued when I bought it, so Preloved was the only option I had to get it. So the reason I regret this one and the reason it was so much cheaper was because of this. And I didn't realize, I didn't know enough about Vuitton when I bought this to realize that I wouldn't be able to get this out. I've tried, maybe somebody else could, but I have tried everything to get this pleat to go back to normal, and all these other bends and bumps. It's just so misshapen, and I can't get it back in shape. And that's the thing that I don't like about it. So my recommendation would be, instead of going cheap and compromising quality that you probably cannot fix in most cases, some you can, just save some extra money or splurge a little more and get yourself something that you won't regret eventually. Get yourself what you really want, especially if these are purchases that are difficult for you to make. Like, you can't just go around spending $1,000+ on a handbag all the time. If you are somebody like me who has to save up to get them, just save a little bit longer. You've waited this long, you can wait a little bit longer, even if it's a couple years, which is, you know, it sounds like such a long time, and it can be, but you know, it's worth it. It really is worth it, because I so regret buying that particular bag. I'm glad that I have the Trevi in my collection, but boy do I want one that's in better condition. And I really wished I had spent a little more and got one in better condition. Number 2 on my list of regrets is the way that I cleaned and ultimately damaged this bag, my vintage Noe GM. I have a video on this, I'll link it below. I used magic eraser on it, which was something that a lot of people recommended, and I watched videos about how to do it because I was nervous about how to clean this bag. And my big mistake was that I didn't condition it before I cleaned it. That was something that I guess nobody had mentioned in the videos that I watched because I didn't do it, and so yeah, I didn't know to do it. This bag, after I cleaned it, cracked in a few places. The worst cracking is right here, and I don't know how well that'll come up, but I think you can see it. And then just the other day I pulled this bag out to wear it, and you can see the cracking in the trim over here, and there's cracking pretty much all the way around it now. You can see some there and there. I mean, it's just all over, and that's not fixable unless I just have all of the vachetta replaced, which is quite a lot of money. If you know how much it is, can you link it below? Because I'm sure people will ask me and I don't know. I don't know if it's $600 or it wouldn't be $1,400, because that's about the cost of the bag. I'm glad that I got that bag vintage for a number of reasons, so that's good. I only paid about $300 for that, so I don't feel that bad about damaging it. But it's such a pretty bag, I wish that I hadn't. I wish I had known better. But that's why I'm able to share things with you to help you not make the same mistakes that I have made in my Louis Vuitton journey. The third big regret that I have is there have been some pieces that I haven't purchased because I didn't buy them when I saw them, or I've thought too long about them. And I wish that I would just, sometimes, I wish that I would buy something when I see it. This is especially true with things like Chanel. Something I learned, and a lot of you are already gonna know this, but a lot of you aren't, is that with Chanel, you can't just go in and buy something, or if they're out of something, expect that they're gonna get it back in like Louis Vuitton tends to do. When they're out of something, they're out of it. And people know their schedule. They get shipments. I don't even know at this point. I'm not that big into Chanel, so I wouldn't really know. But they get shipments seasonally. And I talked to one of the SAs there about it. And he said that, like, the spring collection, I think is when I talked to him. He placed his order for the pieces that he was getting from the spring collection. And when they were sold, they were sold. They weren't getting any more of them. So if you shop at a place like Chanel or some pieces at Vuitton, if you see it, buy it. This is a piece that I bought pre-loved, and I ended up paying more than retail because my store didn't have it. I remember going in once and seeing it, but that was before I was ready to buy it. I was just looking, and I was going back and forth between about the zippy coin purse, and then I wanted to see what my other options were. And I saw this, but I didn't know that I wanted to pay that much and all this stuff. I won't get into it. But they never had it again after the time that I saw that. So I ended up buying it pre-loved and paying more than retail, which is silly and not something I like doing. So certain pieces you need to know in certain places, buy it when you see it. Another regret I have, and luckily there's only been one instance of this, and I've learned my lesson again the first time. When buying pre-loved, make sure you do your research on the piece that you're buying and try to authenticate it yourself or have someone else authenticate it. So I bought a fake piece, the luggage tag. I'll link that video below in case you haven't seen it. I bought a luggage tag off the RealReal, which I expect to be authentic because they say they only sell authentic items. I still buy a lot from the RealReal. That's the only fake piece I've ever run into with them. I've purchased from the RealReal more than anyone else, and I still recommend them to people. I'll link them below too. But I bought a luggage tag from them that turned out to be fake. I took it into the Louis Vuitton store to have it hot stamped, and they told me it was fake, and I argued with them because I thought the RealReal knew what they were talking about. So it turned out I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't research the luggage tags beforehand. I just assumed that since they were selling it, it was real. If I had gone and compared this luggage tag to the authentic ones, I would have seen some differences in it. So whatever piece you're getting, make sure that you do your research and try to find pieces that were made the same year. Look at all kinds of details, and there are also places that will authenticate for you. I'll link 2 of the authentication places that I know of below, and if you know of any others, please put those in the comment section so that other people can use that resource. And number 5 on my list of regrets when it comes to luxury items is not buying them sooner. I waited until I was, let's see, I just turned 39. I've been doing this since blah, 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 let me think. I've been buying luxury pieces for about 3 years, so I would have been, I think, 36, 37 when I bought my first piece, which was that Trevi. I had wanted a Louis Vuitton bag for a long time, and the only thing that stopped me from it, besides not being wealthy and being able to throw money around, was the idea that a bag like that is just not worth that kind of money. The thing is, it's not really, but if it's something that you really love and it'll bring you happiness, and it's not about showing off and saying, oh, look what I have and that sort of thing, if it's something that you really enjoy, and when you look at it or you wear it, that some happiness will be brought into your day, then it is worth it. And just go ahead and bite the bullet and buy yourself a bag if you don't have one yet, or whatever it is that you want. As long as it's not going to hurt you financially, splurge on yourself, do that. And even if it's ridiculous like these prices are, get one and see what you think. And the thing that convinced me to finally buy that Trevi bag was watching YouTube videos and finding out that these bags last a long time, that they tend to be so well made that you can pass them down as heirlooms. A lot of people do that. And also that they tend to hold their retail value fairly well. Some better, some you can sell for more than retail, some decrease in value a lot depending on the bag, others hold their value pretty well. It all depends on the bag. I've heard people talk about these as investments or not investments. For me, it made sense as an investment because it was something that if I needed to sell it and get some or all of my money back, I could. Whereas other bags that I bought, like I used to buy bags from TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and I still do sometimes, or Coach or Michael Kors or Kate Spade, those bags you buy them, and even if you wanted to turn around and sell them brand new, you can't get the same price that you just paid for them. Usually you can't get anywhere near that price. Whereas Vuitton, you can still get a lot of that money back in a lot of cases. So that made sense to me financially. That helped me justify making my first purchase. So that would be my advice to you. And if you're on the fence about it or thinking about it, I hope that helps you to get something that brings you some happiness. That's all I have on my list of regrets. I would really love to hear if you guys have any regrets. I hope you don't, but we probably all do. So if you would leave your comments below, I'd be very interested, and I'm sure other people would too. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to click the like button if you thought this was helpful, and click the subscribe button if you haven't done that. I'd love to have you as part of my YouTube family here. And also please click that bell notification icon to be notified when I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Bye.